we see her on here, right? She's right up at the front for criteria number 1 and criteria number 2, City of Mountain Views, a California city. So California in total, and a lot of this was through CAPPO members that have really achieved great success with the AEP award. We celebrated last year was the first year that California became the state with the most recipients of the AEP award. We were always out. We always had Texas had more, and then last year we overcame that, right? So it was a huge accomplishment. Really proud of CAPPO and all the agencies that worked hard, and we're continuing to see that success because we had mentorship that helped get those. We had like I think it was 2 years ago, we had like 6 newbies on the list, and we've only seen that grow with more California agencies that are wanting to go out there and achieve this award, which is awesome. So this model submittals is another benefit that I used as a member of MPI, because when I was looking at what to submit, I just, needed to see, just not doing it before, if what I was submitting was like on the right track. How many of you out there use e-procurement systems? Yes. Did any of you use
Yes.
OpenGov or Planet Bids? Either of the two?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you do, that is helpful because as one of the criteria, those are considered certified as AEP. So you kind of have a fast track on some of the points. Um, Let me get into points now. When you apply for this award, there's a set of criteria. It's 18 criteria. And so 1 through 18, and then among some criteria, there are subsets of criteria. So let me just gauge on the call. How many of you have never, because I know we have some winners on the call. So how many of you, just show of hands, have never gotten an AEP award before, never received an AEP report before? Okay, we have a few. Okay, so we're gonna, so, so if you have receive the AEP award, then a challenge or something to put out there for yourself is once you receive an AEP award, it's always good to try to mentor those that have not. So, we won it a couple years ago, and now I'm kind of paying it forward with a group of agencies that I'm trying to kind of help achieve their first AEP award. So, so if we go back and we look at what we did internally in our files, we actually built out an AEP application folder, and this was accessible for all of our team. So if we go into, here was the first year and here was this past year, and soon there will be a 2026 folder. Now, I'm opening it up and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But hold tight because you'll see that each of these folders aligns with the criteria 1 through 18. Okay. And then one of the things that's a tool that I used to kind of even see if we were close is this tracker. So we just put it in a little Excel spreadsheet and it's opening, it's thinking. And so here it lists out the criteria. So for example, procurement ethics standards, electronic procurement, professional development program. You can see what the different criteria names are, and then you can see the points that are available from that criteria. That tracker is based off of the application that NPI puts out. And it doesn't change very much from year to year. So like this year, the main applications due every year, May 15th. And if you go through it, it's 21 pages, so we're not going to go through the whole thing. But if we look at like a criteria, you have to get 100 points to get the award. And if you use e-procurement, if you're a lot of these things you probably have in place and you just like when we filled out our tracker, we thought, okay, we're kind of getting close. You're probably closer than you think. So if you haven't ever done it before and you're like, I don't know if I'm even close to it, you might want to take a look because, for example, like you use e-procurement, that's points. If you have an ethics policy, that's 5 points there. An electronic manual, like if you have an intranet for people and you have an electronic manual that you share with people, that's 5 points. So you go through this and you add the points up in the tracker. And if you are over 100, we typically say to like cushion it a little bit because this goes through an evaluation process by a committee. And you might not get all the points you apply for, so you probably want to put somewhere in the range of like 120, 130, just in case. Um, but I've seen people that got it that put in for like 110 or 100 and gotten it too. So I always say to just be a little cautious. Can't hurt to put more than what you need. Um, but it's worth taking a look at the application and then going through a tracker. Um, so when we look at one of the more comprehensive criteria, number 4 is a good one to use as an example because within criteria number 4, there are subsets of things that you have to do. Um, like for example, a survey of your internal department, a survey of vendors, an internal training, and a vendor training. So those are 4 things that make up criteria number 4. But if you add the points together, criteria number 4 is huge because it's 20 points, right? Um, so if you haven't, like before we applied for the award a couple years ago, we didn't do any of this. Like we trained people for sure. We had new people, we trained people, but like we didn't do vendor trainings. We had stuff on our website, and we didn't do surveys. So this taught us that like that's a best practice and we should do those things. And so we did them. It was a little bit of an effort on the surveys, but not that much now that we have it set up. The trainings we were doing anyways, and then we did a vendor open house, and that kind of counted as our training. So here, when we go back to the tracker, we kind of would go in and we would say, okay, so here, and we assign staff. These are our names of our teams. So Rachel and Lily are the 2 buyers on the team with me. And so then we would kind of put in our points. So as we got stuff done, we would put in points. And then, we got to, our goal was 130. So you can see that there. Now, if you go into each of these folders and you click on them, we have A, B, C, D, and we didn't even try for E because our system is really old and it's hard to pull performance metrics out of it. But for these, we marked it when it was complete, and we had, like a criteria number 4. Let me pull it. Oh, it's not letting me open it. So we had criteria number 4, and we would just copy what was from the application as far as what they said they wanted submitted, and then we would label it. So they want a narrative, they want a summary table, and suggested process improvements. So here's the survey information, here's how many people responded. We put the survey results in there. And then we created like an action plan to address what we got feedback on. So that's what they want for one of the criteria. One of the things that I've been asked, and I asked myself, was like, well, how should I put a big survey out? How many questions do I have to have? They don't look at that. You could put out a few questions, you could put out 100 questions. You just want to put out a survey that gets you data that you can use to develop an action plan to address issues. So there you have flexibility on the survey itself. Um, and, you know, it's just kind of an example of what you would do to address one of these criteria. So, um, I'm over my time, I think. I'm not sure how much more time I have.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay, so I would say that setting up the framework and kind of going through the tracker to think about like where you are on the different criteria is going to help guide you as to whether you think this is feasible for your agency. Um, like I said, some of these are pretty straightforward. Um, like and some of them are a little harder to achieve. So like for example, when we look at P cards, how many of you have P cards? Does everybody have P cards? Yeah. So one of the criteria down here, criteria 8 is about P cards. So do you have a P card manual? We didn't have a P card manual. We had like user guidance and instructions, but we didn't have like a comprehensive P card manual. And so we developed one. We had a another agency. I asked for like agencies that had P-card manuals and I used theirs and I modified it to our program and now we have a P-card manual. And so there are things that we kind of had to go through to get ready to apply. Um, and it took us kind of a year to kind of develop those things. And then after we did that, now we're kind of just on repeat to kind of update as needed. Um, so, this P card manual, we got 5 points for that. On the P card program audit, they want us like a comprehensive audit program, or you can get if you have a person on your staff that's certified. So Lily, our buyer, is our P card administrator, and she got a CPCP certification from the International Payment Commercial something. I call it IHOP, but it's not IHOP. It's like ICOP or something. But she got that certification, so we get the 5 points for that. Um, you know, education. If you have 75% of your staff has a bachelor's degree, you get, I think it's 5 points. If your chief procurement official has a bachelor's degree, you get 5 points. If you're a board member, like if you're thinking of running on a board for CAPPO, or like you have NIGP of Southern California, I think that board counts. Chapter boards do not count, but the CAPPO board counts, and the NIGP of Southern California, I believe, count. So that is a big one. That's a 10-point one. And then if you present at CAPPO or NIGP or another, kind of conference, that is a big one. That's a 10-pointer there. Um, so if we go through these, like we have a sustainable procurement policy, but we didn't submit, actually we did submit for that this year. So these kind of all are things that your agency is going to have to go through to see if it's something that you're thinking you can do. So as a follow-up to this presentation, I'm going to send Grace and Andrew the tracker, and then if you guys can share that with the group here, and then if anybody's interested in learning more or really considering pursuing this for their agency, it's a great way to, earn accolades from your city council. We do a press release, so it's a big deal. I know it's a big deal for a lot of different agencies. So please feel free to reach out, and thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah,
Thanks.
I mean, just to echo Elizabeth, it's a great practice just to run through these, if nothing else, right? Because it really opened our eyes to some things we should be working on that are attainable. We just need to put in the steps to do them. And something else Elizabeth mentioned, this is very valuable to your organization, and they just possibly don't know it. It's a very good award and very good public perception to have something like this. So if that is any buy-in for your agency, I would go that route. If you can sell it, say, and on the website for NPI, there's videos. I mean, there is things out there that point to it being a very good thing to have. So thank you, Elizabeth, so much. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with our agenda for today. I have so many things up. Hold on. All right. Can everyone see this? Okie doke. All right. So I'll move on down here to the CAPPO Gold Coast website with upcoming events and resources. Grace, our vice chair, just recently updated this, so it is all new events and resources you can go to. Some of them I'm going to talk about now. Let me share my screen for this. Okie doke. So here is our Gold Coast chapter page. We have this meeting, introductions to our leadership on the chapter. Future chapter meetings coming up, which one is particularly exciting. This last one, we're gonna have to update these with the new year. Okay, so one I want to talk about, and most of this is in our agenda, but we'll kind of go over it now since we're all here looking at it. Our Pro-D committee. So for those of you who don't know, we've split into two subcommittees at the chapter. One is events and planning. So that is a group that is working on events for the chapter going forward. Another is our professional development committee. And the job of this committee is to put in place some extra resources of training. And one very exciting one called the Brown Bag Lunch series is Ethics in the Workplace. So this is a professional ethics training by a guest speaker. And some exciting news over the last hour is that CAPPO office has opened it up to all chapters. So if you go into the training resources, you are able to attend this and register for this training, and also it will count toward your CE credits. So that's very exciting. The Pro-D committee just put that together. And so that's going for everyone. So that's very exciting. So make sure to check that out. And I'll send everyone a link to it too, because it's fairly new. We have just kind of a social hour called Public Procurement After Hours. Our first one is on November 25th at 6 p.m. at Tarantula Hill. Please join us. We don't have to talk shop. We can if we want, but this is just an opportunity for us all to get together. Bring friends and family. Let's all just get to know each other, because I think that's helpful for us, right? We're all virtual. We've got a lot of work. We join these meetings virtually. So just to get to know each other on a more personal level, we thought would be nice. And then we have our first holiday luncheon, December 17th. The Events and Planning Committee is looking into the locations. But if you go on here and you click on this survey, we would appreciate that. And that will kind of give us a head count, an attendance log for who would want to come to this. It will be from 11 to 1, located in probably downtown Ventura. And that seemed like a good kind of halfway point between all of us on the other side of Ventura and Santa Barbara County, which are our two regions that the chapter looks over. So please check that out. Let us know some ideas for the event, but that's an exciting one. It will be free to members. So you'll just show up and, we can all get together and share a little holiday spirit. And then we have some upcoming events, some NIGP webinars, some CAPPO webinars, the CAPPO conference that is happening February next year. Hope everyone can make that. And then the NASPO Exchange Conference in 2026. This is a new one, I think, for city and county, local procurement agencies that we were invited to earlier this year. It was, I would say, a net positive conference for us. I think one of the hitches, it's very supplier driven. So in order to go for free, and I want to stress that part, this is free for public procurement officials. So everything that you are going to spend into this is reimbursed. Or I think our registration was free. Grace, this year, is that a reimbursable cost, I think?
Yeah, I think the registration is a reimbursable cost, and then all your travel expenses, flight, hotel, lodging,
Yeah.
transportation, all of it is reimbursable.
Yep. And one of the things with that is that you have to meet which we called it was much like speed dating. You need to meet with vendors in 15-minute increments a few of those days. But I will tell you, we were kind of dreading it, going, oh, this is going to be great. I found it quite delightful. You sit with them, they give you the pitch, and then the next 5, 10 minutes is just you're kind of talking. But it was a really great conference. Elizabeth, you went too. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was good. The speakers were really good. The sessions were good. Um, it's just something that I like it just depends on the year. Like if you're it was helpful if you had something you were looking for, and I don't know if they were going to change this up, but you didn't get to sign up for vendors. They signed up for you. And
Right.
so one of the things that like I shared feedback on is like I had vendors that wanted to meet with me, but like I had contracts in place already for those. So it's like a reverse kind of trade show in that they sign up for you, you don't sign up to meet with them. So just kind of keep that in mind as like you could have a bunch of appointments that you're not looking for. Um, yeah, so but I don't know if they're going to try to fix that because I think they got that feedback from other public procurement folks. So, but in general, the speakers were excellent and yeah, it was a good time, good education opportunity. So
Yeah, a cool part of it was they put all the California entities together. So we were all doing interviews right by each other. And so that was a nice like bonding time. We all got a really nice picture and that was a very fun one. So I would definitely bring this up to your management about the possibility of going this year or next year rather. It is in Florida at Disney World. So that's pretty exciting. I won't be able to go, unfortunately, but I believe Grace is going. So that should be a fun one. Public procurement resources. We have a few resources here. One in particular I wanted to talk about. I think most of us probably know, but the Procurement Professionals Alliance, I think is fairly new. And it's really centered on local government needs rather than NASPO at state needs, is what I understand. If you become a member of this organization before the end of the year, you get 2 years membership for free. You get access to all their training, which is, I think, particularly good. It's very engaging. I've assigned some of my team some of this training. We're all becoming members, and I think it's really rewarding so far. Also, a very interesting thing about this organization is they just offered a free high performance leadership seminar for free, which I'm doing. And it's through November, I think, or December even. But you meet, I mean, it's fairly easy, but it's really been valuable. And it costs, a lot of money to do that. And they're offering it for free. So I would look into it. And I just wanted to bring it up because so far they've been a great team. And for us who are local, SoCal Procurement Alliance in Orange County is a great group also, ran out of Orange County procurement, and they have a event coming up in November. I'm going to be able to go out there and talk with them. They are just a really good group and kind of focus on a lot of supplier support in around them, but also procurement professionals to go and be involved in training and things like that. So those are two groups I just wanted to point out to everyone. Some certification links here, project management certifications. A lot of these certifications our Pro D committee has been kind of looking at as things to offer that aren't exactly procurement related. Because we know about CPBB and CPPO, but what about project management? I mean, I really am interested in project management lately because I'm finding that my job is just a bunch of projects that I need to organize and execute well, right? So they put these on here, and I think they're really good. I would look at some of these and check them out. Okie doke. That's it for our website. Let me go ahead and switch gears back
I was gonna say,
to.
I did want to add the one that Elizabeth, you had mentioned. One of your buyers got certified to like audit P cards. What was that called again?
It's the CPCP. It's the Certified Procurement Card Certification. And
Okay.
it's through the International Commercial Payments something
It's
organization.
the
It's like,
Institute of Commercial Payments.
thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I'm gonna add that one.
because I was trying to see if I could get one of my staff members certified.
All
Not
right, great.
IHOP.
And just on that note, if anyone has anything else they would like to see on our website page, please contact any one of us. We'll put it on. We're kind of the leadership's kind of just getting together when we can. We throw a bunch of ideas at the wall and then we work from there and just see what sticks. So this is very team driven. If there's something of value you think should be on the website, let us know and we'll definitely put it on. All right, so we talked about pretty much everything. The only thing I want to add about the subcommittees is these are open for anyone to jump on. So we have some folks on both committees, but if you feel that planning events or providing training and ideas for training is something you'd like to be involved in, let us know and you can jump on the committee and kind of go through those meetings with us because it is a bunch of just getting together and finding out what is the best way forward. And from that came this brown bag series that has organically turned into a full organization training with CE credits. So it's really exciting to see this stuff come alive and add some value for all of us. So let's jump into open recruitments. Does anyone have anything open on their teams right now they'd like to share? Nothing? All right. We have an opening for a senior purchasing specialist that has just closed. I just wanted to mention that, but it's been a long process and we're finally going through the finalists in our organization to hire that person on. So that's been, and man, we advertised that thing through LinkedIn, CAPPO, NIGP, and CSMFO. And we got something like 50 applications and 4 finalists that were it's the hardest thing to pick through them because they all brought something different and valuable. And now it's finding out which value is the best value for us. It's been a great experience. We had a lot of good candidates for that.
On CAPPO career page, there are a number of um, recruitments. I don't know if you guys ever check out community on the CAPPO page and then the Career Center because there's stuff that pops up all the time, just like Andrew promoted his. We have a lot of other agencies that put stuff out. And I know that there's some more coming. I know, I don't know if any of you know Yen Pang out. She's in I know you guys are in Southern California. So she just took the director of procurement role at SFO Airport, and she's rebuilding a team up there. So there'll be some opportunities that you'll see promoted from that agency. Um, and then, Mike Durr is a former CAPPO president. So he's up at San Mateo. He took a position. Yen used to be at San Mateo, so I know there's probably some things going to come out from that agency. So there are a number of different things up here in Northern California that are happening, and there's some currently posted for Southern California as well. So lots of opportunities for folks that have the right skill set, right? And that's what we're all trying to do. We're trying to develop that skill set to keep growing and find those opportunities where they're available for people. So thanks.
Nice. Yeah. All right. As another topic, we had open solicitations. Any solicitations we want to discuss as a group? Any kind of tough ones that haven't been getting much traction or really successful ones that have turned out great? All right.
Nobody's saying anything, so I feel like you
Yes,
guys don't have
say
anything
something.
going on. So we have just lots of different things. I got a weird thing that I've got to figure out how to handle. I've got a meeting this afternoon about selling timber from one of our local lands. And so they are talking about wanting to partner with a person to come in and fell the trees and then take them somewhere and then sell them. And then we make some sort of a revenue from that. Um, so my question is like, how are you competing this and who does this and like what is the local market here? Because in Santa Cruz, we're kind of, I mean, we're not Silicon Valley, we're not San Jose. We're close to San Jose, but we got to go over a mountain to get to us. So it's like we're essentially on a little island in some ways. So, I have a meeting this afternoon to talk about that one. So I see Cliff has his hand raised. Love to hear anybody that's got thoughts or experience on that one.
Yeah, I was just gonna, is my mic working okay? Having some problems today.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was just gonna share at the, so I'm with Burbank now. But when I was with the county of Ventura, we did try and sell a bunch of, basically fallen trees. And it was cubics and cubics worth, like it was a whole pile of trees. And we ran a surplus auction and we didn't get any interest. The reality was, there's just not a lot of interest in like, I would say local government fallen trees, at least not in Ventura County. We did a pretty broad search and we sent it. So the way in my time when we did surplus auctions, we'd research like wood wholesalers and that kind of thing. And so we sent out a ton of invites trying to sell the wood and we didn't get any activity. So it's not an easy one to accomplish, I think.
Had it been processed or it was just the trees themselves?
It was just the trees.
Do you need something?
Okay. Because yeah, so here
Ask,
is
we
oh, I
received
think Amy's.
like a renewed P card for
Hey, Amy.
Andrew Douglas from.
Oh,
We're hearing about a
What?
real P card experience right now.
I know. It's like Amy's like dealing with her P card stuff. She's
Sorry, what's the-
certified.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's the approach they want to take is a little different in that they want to like partner with someone to process them and sell them for us. So like find a lumber person to come in, fell the trees, process the trees, and then sell them for us and then give us the money. So I don't know, it's a different approach. So we'll
That
see.
seems like it'll work better than what we did.
I don't know if any of it will work. We'll figure it out, I guess, one way or another. But yeah, let me know if you know of any timber processors. So, but that's a weird one going on right now
Yeah.
for us.
All right. Anyone else with any solicitations? Okie doke. I have a tendency to talk quick through these things. I just wanted to touch with the other leadership on the call. If you guys would like to say anything about, I know that Grace and Curtis, you guys are running the Pro D committee. I kind of updated, but anything you want to say about the steps you've been making with that?
I think we covered a lot of it. I mean, Grace put together a lot of the items on the on the website itself. So we kind of brainstormed what we'd want to see on there. I'm really excited in the conversations I've had with Grace and Marie about, Maria, about getting, like different, I'm trying to say, resources up on the page and thinking outside the box, not just, procurement certificates, but all those other ones. So those are pretty exciting conversations to have. So just cool to see that. I did have an item that wasn't really an open solicitation, but I guess a struggle that I'm having, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get, I'll have to probably to throw it on the CAPPO board because I need to branch out to other counties for this struggle. So there's an initiative across the state called CalAIM, and it's changing a lot of different things related to Medi-Cal billing. And the way that affects us at probation is we're now, well, and sheriff's office, we're now going to be allowed to bill Medi-Cal for medical services provided to those in our jail and our probation, juvenile facility. And the struggle that we're having is with our medical provider not wanting to change their billing model. So they've always been a direct bill to the county. They've never had to manage their work at the encounter level. So the way that like normal, hospitals or clinics or anything like that would run, where you're using ICD-10 codes and that kind of thing to really account for the encounter itself, and so then we can bill insurance or bill Medi-Cal. So we're getting a lot of pushback from our provider, our medical provider, to change their billing model to give us data in a certain format that we can then provide over to a billing service, third-party biller, to bill Medi-Cal. So again, I don't know that we're gonna I'd get any feedback from this call, but definitely a struggle that we're working on and something I got to throw out to Big CAPPO to see how other counties are doing that.
All right. Yeah, I would go straight to that CAPPO board for
Yeah.
sure. That thing is so useful when I've needed an answer for something. I'll
Right.
throw that on, and I've gotten some really good stuff.
I'm gonna
All
bookmark
right.
that right now.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Cliff, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you jumped on to be with
Yeah,
us. We
thanks,
have
bud.
we have two former chapter presidents on this call today, Cliff and Curtis. So this is exciting, but it's nice to see you.
Good to see you, Cliff.
Thanks. I appreciate the invite. I'll catch y'all at CAPPO conference.
Yep.
Yep.
All
Don't
right.
forget to
Great.
sign up. CAPPO conference is coming up. If you haven't booked your
Yes.
hotel and got your tickets. All right. I'll see y'all there. Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks, Elizabeth.